world we live in. No, welcome to the NoLimit podcast, coming to your ears and eyes fast thanks to Comcast. Wi-Fi on a beam. It's the electric eel, Any Bull, and the Shockmaster, NoLimit Eddie. What up? We're here tonight, our first night back, with James. Not LeBron James, just James. What up, James?
What's up, man? I don't know, man. Danny, you said that might be the best intro in podcast, man.
I'm telling you, dude.
That shit was smooth, man.
It's undefeated. So even with 6 months off, we haven't done an episode in a minute. He's coming back sharp.
It's like riding a bike, baby.
We ain't even going to pretend that it didn't happen last week.
No, not a repeat. Fuck that.
No, but we're happy to be back, and we're happy to be sitting here tonight with James. We're going to be talking about a little something sad to start us off. The Eagles lost the Super Bowl, bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was like, something sad. Yeah, like, whoa,
but like,
what's going on?
See, like, you're not an Eagles fan, so like, right off the bat, like, now I'm like, all right, fuck.
Yeah,
now, like, the second the podcast
y'all
starts,
still grieving. Y'all still grieving.
Wait, you're not an Eagles fan? I thought
I'm
you
not
were.
an Eagles fan.
Wow.
But
you cover Philly sports.
Is he gonna be upset when he finds out?
No, I don't think.
But
you don't got that much skin in the game.
No, but you cover Philly sports. Let's get that out in the air for all the fans listening right now.
All sports. Yeah,
he covers all leagues.
Not
Philly
sports. Yeah, but I mean, we based in Philly. You know, my podcast is based in and around Philly, so.
Right.
We get primarily the Philly sports buzz for sure, yeah.
So I mean, I guess you could tell him.
What?
That you like the Cowboys.
Oh, no. See, it's not that bad. I'm a Bucks fan. Buccaneers fan.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Nah, the initial face that he made was
it's fine.
We're harmless, man.
I forgot about
we were harmless until
2 years ago. Whatever year that was.
Oh yeah, I know. Now you're like a league enemy.
Yeah, now everybody hates us.
But like,
we got that,
growing up, I'm gonna give a fuck about that.
Exactly, we were harmless.
So why the Bucks though?
There's actually like a backstory to it. So, and don't ask me why. My dad is like an anti-Eagles fan. Born and raised in Philly, anti-Eagles fan, can't stand them. So I was raised that way, and I didn't even really question it until I was like old enough to think for myself, 13, 14, like, wait, why do we hate the Eagles and everybody else likes the Eagles? So, but when I was like 6, the Buccaneers beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
That's the year I was talking about. That was what, 2002?
2002, 2003, right?
Yeah.
So then I
saw
how...
Was that Gruden, right?
Yeah, Rondé Barber waving the ball. So I made my dad happy as hell to see the Eagles lose. And then, so I'm 6, so I'm like, wow, that's the best team. Then they throttled the Raiders in the Super Bowl. So I'm like, oh, that's the best team. I want to rock with the best team. Like, I'm gonna hop on this bandwagon. And the football guys made me pay for that for like 18 years, bro. Because I didn't see a winning season until we got Tom Brady.
But then you saw a championship immediately.
Oh, yeah. We sold our soul for Tom Brady, man, and got a championship, you know?
Yeah. Who were the quarterbacks before Brady? I can't even think
Oh, man. We want to go through them. We got Brad Johnson, Jeff Garcia, Josh Freeman, Mike.
Josh Freeman is who I'm thinking
Mike
of.
Glennon.
Jeff Garcia, former Eagle.
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia had a good
traded
run for
him.
the
Yeah,
Eagles.
you traded him to us.
Yeah,
we got him from you.
Underrated, Jeff Garcia.
I mean, y'all got his best years.
Yeah, but I remember even being that young. I remember how much the city fucking loved Jeff Garcia.
Yeah.
There's that video of
they were loving Jeff.
Remember the video of that guy? He's like, Jeff Garcia, baby, he's our baby.
Yeah. I remember.
I actually knew somebody related to him.
I remember Jeff Garcia.
Matt Jones.
There you go. Shout out Matt Jones.
I
remember Jeff Garcia, like, he threw a pass one time and got like skin like torn off his hand. Like he hit his hand on somebody's helmet. And his skin's like flapping off. And either like scored a touchdown, either that player or the next player or something like that. And instead of people being like worried about his hands, like Eagles fans loved it. They were like hell yeah. Like
I never knew about that.
Yeah, it's like nasty. Like you got to look it up. I have this really vague memory of that of Jeff Garcia just playing through like this nasty gash in his hand.
So you're not an Eagles fan. Who did you have in the Super Bowl before the outcome? You like the Chiefs or you like the Eagles?
My mom is actually a Chiefs fan. So for household sanity. No one in my dad's a Dolphins fan. There's no one in my household that like the Eagles. Yeah. So, but to be honest, like I'm a sports fan and football connoisseur above. So I hate on the Eagles my whole life, but like at some point you got to give someone their props and give them some of their respect. Like,
Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You won a Super Bowl, and when you're getting back to it, like it's not a fluke that you're the number 1 seed in the NFC, or it's not a fluke that you're beating the Giants, you're beating the 49ers. Like, you're in the Super Bowl. At some point, it's got to be like, okay, like, they're legit. So I kind of, like, sat back and just let the game play out. But it's hard not to, like, I'm surrounded by Eagles fans. So it's hard not to get under the skin of Eagles fans when you're unbiased.
Even growing up, like, the Eagles were good with Andy Reid. Like, we were always in the playoffs. Always.
Yeah, 4 straight NFC chips.
Even like our whole life, the Eagles had been good.
The co-host of your podcast, Straight Facts Podcast, which we're going to talk more in depth about, are they Eagles fans?
Huge Eagles fans.
Fans.
Lifelong Eagles. All of them, 4 for 4, 5 for 5.
That kind of makes sense. You couldn't have been a fan of the Cowboys, like, and made that work out.
No. I mean, it would have made for good podcasting because we really would have went head to head,
especially 2 weeks a year.
Yeah,
and you would have had that Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp type beef. When it comes to the Cowboys.
real type beef. Like it's not like play podcasting type beef. Like we have real type beef. But sometimes I act as the antagonist to their Eagles fandom. And really what I'm trying to do, the role I play, and they know this, shout out to Jake Gallen, Stab Matt Robinson, shout out to Straight Fox Podcast. They know that I do this. I just try to bring them back down to earth when they start getting elated about what the Eagles are doing and they start getting, homerish. I'm just the guy that's
you are like Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I make the painfully obvious comment that brings it back down to earth, and then that gets under their skin.
Jalen Hurts shoulder.
No. You know what I'm saying? But you haven't played a top 10 defense. You just say little things like that, and
little injection,
but
little jab
it doesn't
of
take
reality.
away from the fact that you guys were the number 1 seed. But I'm just like, hey.
But it works every time.
I gotta state the straight facts. I gotta state the facts. You know what I mean?
And that's true. And I would trust it. If you down the Eagles a little bit, I know you get deep into the stats from the clips that I've seen on Instagram from your podcast. You know your shit. You go research a little deeper.
I'm a numbers guy. Yeah, I'm a big why guy, and that's in life. Like you gotta prove it to me. Like I hate abstract statements. I hate just like saying shit just to say shit. So, but if you can say something and back it up with either an example, a point, a fact, like that's what gives it like credibility, and that's what makes it legit to me. So that's why I love that we based our podcast around that, because we have those hot takes, those predictions, the shit you say at the water cooler at work. But when we do say it, we got a stat or two that we can point to be like, this is why I get that. You know what I mean? This is my eye test. But when I'm going back and looking at the stats are proving my eye test right. The stats are proving what I am predicting about what's going about the game right. And we might be wrong, and we still got opinions. We still go out there.
Sure.
But it's based on, like, you can see where our foundation is. I'm not pulling this out my ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? I might be seeing the pattern wrong, or the pattern might be leading me astray. That's fine. But it's what I see.
So you're definitely not as sad as I thought you'd be about the Eagles. I thought you were an Eagles.
I can't agree with y'all, man. I can't agree with y'all.
So let's just get to the.
I never lost this season.
So Nick Foles is still the greatest Eagles quarterback of all time.
The problem is for me that I gotta say about that.
Blow the top off, man.
Nah, you know what it is?
He changed the whole posture.
Blow the top
Italian word of the day. You stink.
Yeah, jabroni.
You stink, right? You stink. You stink. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about my Eagles.
That is beautiful.
No, but for real though, I think going into the Nick Foles thing, they got that statue of Nick Foles up.
I think that's hilarious, by the way.
About?
I think that's hilarious.
I thought that was such a bad idea. Even in the moment, I was like, they put that up. I said, what the fuck?
Here's the thing. I watched y'all when the concept came out. Y'all was like, yeah, it was right after the game. Y'all was like, yes. As a fan base, y'all were like, yes, let's do it. The minute it went upright and the strings came off, y'all was like, oh. Like we really got a statue of a dude who don't play.
The current coach is a bronze statue at the fucking stadium. And the backup.
If they were going to do it and leave it forever, they should have given him a big-ass dick.
Every time I walk by that shit, I crack up. It's
unbelievable. And it's also like, it's also a horrible statue. I feel like their bodies are like warped. Like they look like they just look fucked up.
And we're saying all this, and what I'm getting to is, if that holding call isn't called, then Jalen Hurts is going to get the ball back. He's going to drive down the field. He's going to score. He's going to win the Super Bowl. And they're going to tear Nick Foles down and put him up the next day. But that gets called.
But then you just repeat that nasty cycle. Because, you know what I mean? Like,
what? You don't think Hurts is the future?
I'm not saying he's not. But you can put the statue up now? You going to put it up, you know what I mean?
If I'm saying in that exact scenario, they don't call it holding. Chiefs kick a field goal. He gets the ball back, 2 minutes left in the Super Bowl, drives down the field and scores and wins. They're putting up a statue.
Let me put it in perspective.
No, not immediately.
Hey, let me put it in perspective for you. I waited 18 long years for my team to win the Super Bowl, man. 18 years in the dark. Tom Brady came for one season, got me a Super Bowl. I don't want a statue of Tom Brady outside of
because he's a Patriots guy.
But even if, I mean, is Nick Foles really an Eagles guy? Like,
no, he's not. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Actually, I think Nick Foles is an Eagles guy.
Maybe.
Hurts is an Eagles guy. That's why
I'm just saying. To me, a statue, when you immortalize yourself amongst like Eagles history, like you gotta you have to put in the time that measures up to that. Not just one game, one season, one moment. Like if guys like Randall Cunningham and Reggie White and Donovan McNabb don't have statues, why does Nick Foles got a statue? If coaches like Andy Reid and Buddy Ryan don't got a statue, why does Doug Peters
statue would go crazy?
You know what I mean?
But he just never got that championship.
He never got that championship. I get it, but you know what I mean? Nick Foles got one season run. It's a historic run. It's going to go down all time. But McNabb got 4 straight division titles. McNabb got, you know, the most MVP, the most passing yards, the most passing touchdowns in your history. Like McNabb got all of that, did all that for your franchise. And you know what I mean?
And he rode like the hype of the city. Like he didn't like crumble under any. Like he literally was the starting quarterback of the Eagles for years. Always in the playoffs, always in contention, always good. Literally won the MVP years into his career. Like,
and I hear what y'all are trying to do. Like you know what I mean? Like he was, and I don't think it's trying to overshadow what McNabb did, but
no, but he won the MVP in like 06. He was drafted in like 98. Like, he was good for a long time.
I think y'all were trying to immortalize the moment. Like that's the Philly. You want
exactly
Philly.
Right.
McNabb College. You know?
Syracuse?
Yep.
Yeah, dual sport athlete. Played basketball and
he played basketball too? I didn't even know that.
Basketball and football.
See, that's like a kind of obscure college athlete that I know, and I was sure you would know. Just from what I've seen from your pod and all, like I knew you would know.
Of course. But...
Another guy from Syracuse is in the NFL. You know any?
Oof. A guy from Syracuse is in the NFL right now?
I don't know. If you said anybody, I'd believe you.
No, I don't personally know. I mean, they're probably
or anybody ever.
I was watching a Michael Vick of Football Life. Did he go to Syracuse or didn't want to go to Syracuse?
He went to Virginia Tech.
He didn't want to go to Syracuse because of McNabb went there.
Or they might have played a game against each other or something like that. That was before James was covering sports. He was probably like 4 years old.
It was something like he didn't want to go to Syracuse because he was a big fan of McNabb. Didn't want to go to Syracuse because that was like McNabb's shit.
That was McNabb's.
He was like, I want to have my own shit.
And he went to Virginia Tech and had his own
he did go
shit.
to Virginia Tech. I forgot about that.
For sure.
That was good. So yeah, the Super Bowl blew. That was brutal. It was a good game though.
It was, and here's to be honest, the best Super Bowl I've seen since your last Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And this how I know it really hurt the fans. Like, you know, the game's over. I'm at my man Chuck's house with all my friends, right? They're all Eagles fans. The game's over. People start dwindling.
We're fucked up.
Yeah. They start dwindling out there, man. My man's just sitting there like this on the couch, not looking at nobody.
And he's hurt.
And then like the amount of pain I saw, and it was real hurt, real pain. And then he said this to me. He's like, "Yo, I've never lost a Super Bowl before." And he's like, have you ever lost a Super Bowl? And I was like, no. Like, it's one thing not to get there.
Wait, how old is he?
He's our age.
Yeah, but like in 04, we were
talking. Yeah, that's true.
But we were like kids.
He was like a little kid, but
we don't have the
right.
Now we're so much more cognizant.
Well,
of it and
here's
more
the thing.
involved.
He may not have said, "I've never lost a Super Bowl." He's like, "Have you ever lost?" I've actually, personally, I've never lost a Super Bowl before. Nah. Like the Buccaneers, the only Super Bowl we've been in, we've won. So he's like, you know, I lost the Super Bowl. It's one thing not to get there. It's one thing to lose in the Super Bowl in a heartbreaking fashion. And I was like, yeah, that's something I can't really like sympathize with. That's crazy.
Like this past year, I went to 4 games. Like that's having stake. Like in a team, like
you went to a quarter of the game.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
out of the home games with the hands.
Yeah, half of the home games. Yeah.
So, in 04, even though they lost, I was literally a child. Yeah. I was in 3rd grade. You know, I was a kid. So this one really does feel like the first time they've lost a Super Bowl because it's the first one that has like actual, you know, gravity in my life. Like I was upset. I really thought they were gonna win. I really hated the the national consensus that the Eagles were just gonna fuck them up. Like I hated that.
Well, here what I
kind of looked like that
as a fan. Yeah. I understand that. Like I wouldn't want like the whole nation picked the Chiefs when we played the Chiefs. And I was glad and we won the game. But
Did you
I
guys
think
clap the Chiefs or like
we
it was
did.
close?
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, you guys.
That man
trashed
Pat
the
Mahomes
Chiefs.
was running for his life. It was crazy. Something no one expected to happen. Right.
Yeah.
But I think what the national media was doing it was a quick overcorrection of all the things they had been saying leading up, because they so many people were reluctant to give the Eagles credit. Jalen Hurts credit, Nick Sirianni credit, like, and y'all felt that. And y'all publicized that, as Eagles fans would do, is y'all not giving us the respect. We're the number 1 seed. You guys keep picking everybody else but us. And you clap the Giants, and everyone's like, it's the Giants.
I thought the game was going to be closer, too.
Yeah.
I really thought that that was going to be a
y'all shut it down from the door. Like, it wasn't,
from the jump.
It didn't even start.
Even the score wasn't even a good indicator of how, like, close that game
y'all
was.
let your foot off the gas pedal in the middle of the game. Y'all really could have ran up the score in that game. Then you clapped the Niners, and everyone made all these different excuses to why you clapped the Niners. And then I think, like, you get the 2 weeks of the Super Bowl, and all everyone does, especially analysts, is crunch Eagles film, probably more times than they've ever done all season. And then they realize, like, oh shit, yes, they may have had some favorable schedules, and the ball might have bounced their way sometimes, but there's a reason why they got the number 1 offense. There's a reason why they got a top 5 defense. There's a reason why they're doing this. There's a reason why they're doing that.
Front runner for the MVP.
You know what I mean? And they knew about the Chiefs all season. So it was oh shit, we're finally realizing how good the Eagles are, how much they have a chance to win this game. Now we're all picking them. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it was a quick overcorrection of not giving y'all credit all season. And I was wondering, like, why would you not want that? I was like, as Eagles fans, like, y'all looking at this the wrong way. Like, this is finally everyone giving y'all credit. But again, I understand. Like,
it's just like,
that's a whole lot of pressure. Everyone picking us now. It's bad juju. Like, everyone picking us now.
It's not even so much like bad juju. It's just like the team, to some degree, they catch wind of all of this press, right? Yeah. And then they're in the Super Bowl week, and it's media week, and then they're like, they become larger than life figures for 2 weeks, and they're on stage, and they're filming commercials, and they're like, I just think it really does pull you out of the game a little bit. Even though, like, they're all great athletes, right? The Eagles are awesome. Chiefs are great, right? But you're playing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I think a lot of the veterans, and now I don't work for the Eagles. I wasn't at the game. I wasn't at anything. But I think a lot of the veterans probably, like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
You know, I understand how this works. Yeah. Also, respecting the fact that Pat Mahomes has been there a few times now at this point. Yeah. But I just can't help but feel, because all that shit happened, that it gave them less of a chance to win the game. Now, they also went out and performed really well. It was a close game. They were leading at halftime by 2 scores. They had that bad fumble that cost them. But then they recovered after that, because the game was what? They went to 14-14 after that.
Yeah.
So, and then the Eagles went up and scored. So, I mean, they did recover from that fumble. It was really that fucking penalty call that you could say maybe cost them a Super Bowl. You don't know what would have happened.
Here's the thing, and I completely understand James Bradbury's, like, what he said and how he said it. Like, I thought they were gonna let it ride, because as a cornerback, and this is all, you know, speculation. This is all what I think is, like, you know, a certain level of physicality that they're going to allow at certain times of the game. You know what I mean? Like, they know as a referee how hard it is to play cornerback as it is. So you're saying, like, as James Bradbury, like, I thought they were going to let it ride. Like, I thought they were going to give me, you know, this.
By that definition that you just said, a certain level allowed at a certain point of the game. I think what he did should have been allowed at that point of the game. He's
saying by the book, I held them. Like, he's like, yes, I held them. I thought they were going to let it ride. You know what I mean? I thought they were going to give me that, or I thought, you know what I mean, at this point of the game, they're
it's so late in the game, just let them play.
Or
let it play out. Unless it's egregious, unless it's, you know,
or by saying, like, this is how they've been reffing all game, because that's a big point that everyone's been making is, you know, they were allowing this, they were allowing that all game. So, you know, that's what I heard by what James Bradbury said.
And then a lot of people go and say, like, oh, the NFL's fixed, this is fixed. But, like, think about being a referee and think about being, like, a human in that moment. Like,
you gotta make the right call.
Right.
And when you get all,
and what are you gonna fuck the Chiefs over? So you got held.
And what's crazy is when all the different angles come out, like, I saw an angle from, like, I think NFL Films, where like
It
it actually does look crazy. Like the jersey is extended, and it's just in an angle that the naked eye and the broadcast view didn't pick up.
Yeah, the naked eye sees like literally
you know what I mean?
fucking nothing.
But you got to remember, on TV, you're not looking at nearly an angle that the referee is looking at. And until we get all these crazy angles that only NFL has access to, we're never going to be able to see the angle the ref saw. So from the broadcast view, you can replay that 1,000 times, and it's just not, you're not going to see it. But as soon as you go to that like sideline view and you see a different camera, like, you know what I mean? You see stuff that the ref saw, you see it at a different angle, and you see his jersey get pulled. So it shouldn't take anything away from what Jalen Hurts did, what you guys did in the game. Like Travis Kelce said himself, he could have.
No, he threw for 300 yards.
He could have damn well won MVP, even in the loss. Like I think everyone on the Chiefs side like would have been content enough or secure enough if they would have announced Jalen Hurts for MVP. They'd have been like, "Hey man, played a hell of a game. We played a hell of a game. We got the trophy, we won the game." But that brother, you look at the stats. Bro, Pat Mahomes threw for under 200 yards.
That was the parlay killer. Everybody was.
I know it was.
Everybody was taking Mahomes over 200.
I know
That's
it was.
the parlay killer right there.
You know.
You think they gave him some crazy shit after that injury? He was hopping off his one
they
foot,
gave him that
and
Ben
then he was burning at the end, bro. He was
Ben
burning.
Roethlisberger.
If you like, he's going on, and what's crazy is he not limping after the game. Like he got the parade looking cool. I'm like, this brother, they got the best drugs in the world in the NFL.
I don't know, something happened.
But I've seen
that blue tent's got magic. It's got the elixir,
and he didn't even want to go back there. And then he went back there with the La La Land, came back out with a whole different man.
He was on the sidelines on the bench going and then all of a sudden he's jetting on the field.
Yeah, he went on NoLimit about it. He could be a clone.
He went on some talk show. It was like, yeah, I was able to go in the locker room and like, get some work done and get some things done. And I'm like, they shot you or something. Like it's okay. Like it might be legal, but like I go back to I think it was like 3 years ago now. There was some random Packers versus Bears game. It was like a Monday night game. Aaron Rodgers goes down in the third quarter, crazy knee injury, or at halftime.
And he hit the ayahuasca.
Yeah. He comes back out and has like the craziest fourth quarter in his career. And he's getting like interviewed after the game, and this man's eyes are so bugged out.
Yo, I was watching that shit live, dude. I was like, he's
not here. He's not here.
Not at all.
He's somewhere else right now.
He's admitted. I think on the Joe Rogan podcast, he talked about how in his time in the NFL, it used to be so easy for players to get perks. Like you could literally just like put it in order and like your.
He was just talking about that on.
And then as his career went through, it was harder to get that shit. So. That was probably during that era where they were just giving out shit to players.
There's somebody played. I was like, I played on Percocet.
I'm pretty sure that actually might have been. He might have been given that example, that game, that talking about that interview where he looked like
I don't know, but
it was so easy. To
oh man, he was flying.
Oh man, this man
he was
came
off
out.
to the races.
Dude, how about crazy segue? I don't know if you heard about this about Aaron Rodgers, the thing that he's doing like a darkness retreat.
Yeah, he did. He's done that for the past couple of off seasons, right? That's when he started doing the psychedelic stuff like that. So after the season ends, he goes on this darkness retreat, right? And I don't know the specific details of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any real. I don't know if he gives any specific details of it, but he goes on a darkness retreat, I guess, to like figure out the next steps of his career, of his life, and everything. And this time is the am I gonna retire one?
It's probably similar to you ever heard of those things like the float tanks. Like you can go to them. It's like water. It's filled with so much salt that you'll float no matter what.
No, but that sounds
and
crazy.
like they shut the door on you. They shut the door on you. It's completely pitch black dark, and then you just lay there and float. And like none of your senses are activated at all because you can't see. It's so quiet, you can't hear. You're not touching.
I mean, I don't want my senses to get taken away. I feel like.
Well, that's what it's called. It's like sensory deprivation or something. It's
you like die for a couple minutes?
No, so I think it's more like it allows your body. This is what it sounds like. It allows your body to not be having to function all of the other parts of your body, so your brain can really like accelerate.
Or is it resting or is it accelerating?
No, your brain has more power because the rest of your body is using less power because it's just floating up with the salt. So it's like
so you're not keeping. Yeah, your brain's not using energy to keep your body.
Yeah. Like the muscles are relaxed and it's probably like your brain's able to like go off and
you probably get out that water so refreshed, man.
Yeah, it's probably crazy.
Probably solving all sorts of problems.
Salt's like I don't know, like not good for you. I feel like.
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about.
You been in this pool, Eddie?
No, I never been in it, but I definitely have heard about it. Aaron Rodgers is definitely doing that in his darkness retreat for sure.
You think so?
Like for some period of time. He's such a crazy guy that like maybe his entire darkness retreat is doing that for like 2 days straight or something. Man. But he definitely is participating in that at some point. I know for sure.
He was playing in the NFL on psychedelics. Like he was just
he I think on the podcast he was talking about ayahuasca, all types of crazy
stuff I never even heard of.
You never heard of ayahuasca?
Half the stuff
Are you like straight edge, like to some extent? Like, do you not really partake in like drugs or anything?
No, I mean not really. No, I never go. I don't judge, but it's just some stuff
I've never taken a drug in my life.
Yeah, be exposed to.
Like Molly, like acid, LSD, shroom. I've never done a single thing.
Yeah, but you know what those are. You just never heard of ayahuasca?
No,
I never heard of that either.
It's like something you drink it and then you get sick, like, and then you like trip, like.
So it's like
hard.
a real psychedelic.
Yeah,
trip
you throw up, and they say
some stuff that like if you got trapped in Indian.
Yeah,
stuff you got trapped in the rainforest.
Exactly.
They forced you
have to go to like foreign
countries.
You have to go to like foreign countries. And,
you get like Black Panther powers after and shit.
Possibly. Like when you look at your veins, you see like stuff.
Yeah. Your veins start lighting up and shit.
That'd be lit. That'd be crazy.
That's the suit they have you wear when you run out on the court at Villanova, right? The vein suit.
I turned into a superhero, man. I got a whole different costume.
There you go. Speaking of Villanova,
you do that
basically
too, right?
do like turn into like a superhero.
It's definitely I definitely got a persona.
Yeah,
definitely got a
No, like a lot of those. Now I feel like I'm looking like lazy bones. Like I can't help.
The couch
but,
looks comfortable.
I can't help but this couch
really
like
that swallows you up, man.
It swallows you up. It's like it's hard. Like, you can't sit up straight. Like it's all the way back here. But all the videos and stuff you post, dude. Like you're in front of like a really decent crowd, and they're all following through it. You're like they're feeding off.
Did they introduce you on the mic? Like when you come out, like on the PA system?
Sometimes they did like at first, but like not really.
I mean, you're really holding the mic the whole time. I mean,
yeah. So the thing I gotta remember, and the thing that I always like try to remember and try to do is like they're not there for me, right? They're there to watch a Villanova basketball game. I'm there to enhance that game day experience and make that more fun, make them more excited about watching Nova. Mm-hmm. So even when a couple of times if they did put my name on the Jumbotron, like I didn't mind if they took it off or it didn't introduce me. Like I don't.
Well, I'm asking because do you have like a nickname or you just go by your name?
I go by like Jimmy J is kind of what I go by. Like when I'm there, my stage name's what I got like on the jersey that they got me. So yeah, Jimmy J is kind of.
Jimmy J.
How long have you been doing that?
It's my second basketball season, first football season that just ended. So I guess 2 years.
Oh, you did it for football too.
Yeah.
So how does that work with the football?
It's much different because football stadium is huge, right? Like you can't run around the bowl of a track of a football stadium.
And Nova's got their own stadium, or they use?
Nova's got their own stadium. They don't like go to like the link like the basketball team goes to the Wells Fargo Center. But but it's still like a big stadium, right? So you can't even really go sideline to sideline because it's so long sideline to sideline. So you gotta
unless you want to get a fucking hell of a workout.
Or I mean, sometimes you got 45 seconds in a timeout, a minute in a timeout. I'm gonna spend majority of that just getting to the other side. So you got to pick one side. Usually you stay where like the student section is, but it's different and it's weather dependent. Like this year I got mad lucky because all of our games were pretty decent weather. We had one game that was like kind of cold, but it was always sunny. So, that's gonna be different coming next season because I can't predict 5-6 weekends. It's gonna be perfect
if the field
weather.
Gets all muddy, you gotta get out there in cleats.
do something. Put some pads on, get ready to go. You know what I mean? Like
they shoot you out of a cannon with shoulder pads on.
Bro,
did a field goal.
I want to, you know what I mean? I would do like stunts like that if they wanted to. Like even at basketball, do like the dunk squad stunts. Like happy with it.
How many years you been doing the basketball? You started with basketball?
I started with basketball.
And how many years?
Two years now.
Bro, Villanova, this guy's been in there 2 years. Get this guy a t-shirt gun. What are you doing? We're begging for a t-shirt gun.
I'm begging for a t-shirt gun. Nah, so I've asked for a t-shirt gun. Like I'm like, I would love it. First of all, the pavilion is beautifully built, but it's not built high. So a t-shirt gun, like I might tear the roof through the Federal Pavilion. But if we had it at Wells Fargo, yeah, man, I'd have too much fun with a t-shirt can.
What is it that makes us as like people like whores for a fucking t-shirt?
Hey man,
everybody wants a tee.
Let me tell you, man. When I first started that job, it was awesome from the jump, but people didn't like really know what I was, who I was, or the scope of my job at first. Mm-hmm. So at first, like the first game or two, they just see a kid running past them screaming like "Let's go Cats, V's up." They might think I'm just a super fan or someone. They don't realize that like that's my job. I'm working for the team. As soon as I got out the court with a t-shirt, it was over. I had fans for life, man. Yep. They're jumping up, screaming up. So I'm like, y'all, if we might be getting blown out, but fans will always stand up and get hyped for a t-shirt, man.
T-shirt. That's all. Look, everywhere you go. Like,
I love it.
Not even joking. Like, my mom is literally campaigning like to get term limits for Congress.
Term limits for Congress.
And she got like all these pins and stuff. I said, "You got a t-shirt?" She was like, "Yeah, I got a t-shirt." I said, "I'm gonna get an XL." I was like, immediately, I was like, "I need a t-shirt."
I will love a t-shirt.
I just want a free tee.
Stand up, show it off. Term limits for Congress.
There you go.
Term limits for Congress.
Shout out moms.
You know, angana@gmail.com. Shout out mom, I love you.
Shout out moms.
Yeah, shout out moms. Shout out James' mom. Shout out Eddie's mom. Shout out all moms. Shout out all No-Limit moms. If your mom's got a limit, sorry.
Apologies.
But yeah, it's sick, dude. Because I see like your posts and stuff. Like the crowd is actually engaged with what you're doing. It's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So what was great is when they hired me, like they said, like the direction was like we want to have the best game day experience in college basketball. That's our goal. And we want to have every game super lit, super excited, super crowd engaged. Like, can you do that? And I was like, oh, y'all got the right one. Like, y'all really have the right one for that. So knowing that that's the direction of, like, kind of the game day operations and the marketing team is why I am so comfortable, like, being so crazy and being so enthusiastic with the crowd. So I'm like, this is what they want. You know what I mean? I'm not just going out on a limb doing this, getting everybody's face. Like, this is what we're trying to do. Like, be a part of this. And so when as people start to become part of that and want to engage with that, you know what I mean? It's automatic.
It's an interesting job that like a lot of people don't get the chance to do. Like be like
very appreciative.
You know what I mean? Like I always think on like obviously this is a bigger scale, but someone like Steve Aoki, right? Mm-hmm. He gets in front of he's on a stage and he's in front of thousands of people who are just feeding him energy. Yeah. You know, like what a crazy like concept that is for like a human to be like in the middle of, you know?
The adrenaline rush you get from like it's really when you're in the midst of it, like it's really tangible. Like when people are like yelling at you and screaming at you and like getting hyped with you, like you really feel like the energy of a crowd at you. And you gotta like sometimes contain it because you could really like go crazy and like, you know, make yourself like get lightheaded and start running around. Like
you could burn yourself out.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Are you trying to parlay it into a career in this, like doing it for maybe a professional team one day?
It's something that I've thought about, but it's something I didn't think about till I got the Villanova job. Like I wanted to get into like sports media and sports broadcasting my whole life, but I always imagine myself at a network like ESPN, Fox Sports, you know, being a studio analyst or doing game day calls. Like that's kind of what I've been grooming myself for. So when I got this opportunity, you know, other opportunities either might start branching or start branching off from that. So it's a gift and a curse, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's a gift and a curse, right? Because now I'm like, oh, all these other opportunities, but I'm like shit, all these other opportunities.
You got the Villanova opportunity through the other media stuff you were doing, or how did you come across that?
It's all in network, right? Like it's like
really what experience did you tell them to get onto the court?
So it's that how I got the job is like a kind of a backstory too. Like it's kind of related to what I got into, but it's kind of also just like luck and like God's work, really, because I went to a Villanova game, I believe in 2019 with my man Rich, you know him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so shout out Rich. Shout out Book. So I went with him and we got fan of the game that game. We knew someone working for the team at the time. They got us fan of the game. So we get on the Jumbotron and I'm like, are we getting on the Jumbotron? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, yeah, we're at Wells Fargo Center. I'm making the most of this. So I make the most of my 15 seconds of fame. I'm hyping up the crowd. So they cut off. And the host at the time, Theo, shout out Theo, he was like, he cut off. He was like, hey, man, you ever thought about like doing something like this? Like you were
right off the rip.
Yeah, I swear to God. Like, he was like, you were really good. And I was like, funny. I kind of want to do like almost exactly what you're doing, but not exactly what you're doing. So we just, we exchanged information right then and there. We kept in contact. Then he got a actual reporting job in I believe, I don't want to misquote, sorry Theo, I believe Jacksonville, somewhere down south. And
so he had to like move.
So he had to move, go away, and he contacted me. He was like, "Hey man, like I left and I know that job is still up. They keep asking me if I'm coming back. So like, let me know if you want me to put your name in the ring, anything." So story goes on. He writes me a letter of rec. I get the interview audition, and that's what it is. So it's really like full circle.
The last guy gave you the recommendation. It's pretty much you got it.
I mean, I saw the interview. Shout out Theo, man. But it was the first time. Like they tell you all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You're like, yeah, whatever, fuck that. Like I gotta know shit. And then, but it was the first time that it was like, wow. Like it really is who you know. Like I do have to know. I have to be good. I still had to interview and audition. But the reason I got it was like I had to know like the right people.
That's a classic NoLimit paranoia check if you don't know what he's doing there.
So, bro, I know all the podcast paranoia.
So the NoLimit paranoia check is just a check.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking at the wavelengths every like 5 minutes just to make sure I'm still getting picked up. Like yeah. You know what I mean? Like I know
it's just like it's an unfortunate thing that you
happens
just can't help. You gotta get up and check.
Every time a wire moves, I'm like, did I cut it off? Like and make sure I'm good. Yeah, I know
it's crazy. Yeah, people don't know that depth of a podcast. They think it's just like press a button. And
I wasn't even gonna stop. I was as long as you looked and saw it was cool. I was just gonna keep talking, like you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, we've done.
They did it perfectly.
We've done entire podcasts.
He's a pro. He's a pro, ladies and gentlemen. No, that's sick. And it's also like the Villanova thing and the sports podcast.
Bouncy.
This couch is fire. Pause also. That's gonna be a great edit. I'm gonna do a lot with that. You're not hyping the crowd up at a circus, right? You're doing it for Villanova basketball, and you do a sports podcast. So like you're basically blending the whole world together in one big thing.
They're adjacent for sure. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So like you think I want to be with ESPN one day, like that's all.
It's on the ballpark, right? It's on the same.
It's on the same trajectory.
That's all in Bomani Jones being at the right Villanova game, or Scott Van Pelt being at the right Villanova game.
Right.
I've seen Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick is a. I'm gonna expose Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick's a closet Villanova fan, man. I know he's a Temple grad, but like I've seen him in a couple Wells Fargo games. I'm like, hey Lou, man, it's okay. Throw the V's up for me, Lou. Throw the V's up, it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Louis Riddick was on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, he was for a couple years with Steve Levy and Brian Greasy.
Shout out to him, closet Villanova fan.
You know what I mean?
It all comes out. Who'd have thought the NoLimit podcast would be the place you find out that about Louis Riddick?
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You
breaking
never know. You never know. What tidbit you're going to get. Speaking of breaking news, it's probably about, I don't know, maybe fifth or something time that aliens have come up on the podcast.
Yeah. So I'm a big alien guy.
Anymore. Yeah. I'm going to let you go off on it.
So,
Well, give me the context of being a big alien guy. What's your?
I don't know. I'm just always reading about, UFOs and always just like, kind of just interested. I'm not saying I get outside and with a telescope and watch the sky at night and look for them, right? But I'm always reading about it.
You've definitely done that before.
Looking at every time I look at the sky, I'm hoping I see something. Dude. Every time I look at the sky, I'm like, please, just show me a saucer, something.
Here's the thing, Danny. Like, everyone admits that the universe is like ever expanding. So the concept to think that we're like the only thing out there in the universe to me is ridiculous. So
I think it is ridiculous.
Like whatever you want to call aliens or whatever, like I 100% believe that yes, there's other life forms out there that are probably way smarter than us, have way more technology, shit we've never seen before. Like
the problem with it
is crazy.
But with all the stuff that's happening, the one thing that's up there on the current events topic board, aliens. I don't know what happened recently with aliens.
Did something happen recently?
So, all right. So the recent thing that happened was there was a Chinese weather balloon or a spy balloon that was shot down by U.S. forces.
Correct.
Okay. And then there were 3 other unidentified objects that were subsequently shot down by U.S. forces. This doesn't happen. Right? This isn't normal. This isn't normal procedure. This is not normal operating procedure where unidentified flying objects are being shot down by U.S. military over the continental United States.
Especially over the United, because stuff isn't supposed to get this far. It's not supposed to get over.
So
like, the
one of them
States,
actually flew over into Canada, and under Canada's direction, had the U.S. follow it and shoot it down over Canada's over like the border. So they were in Canada, and Trudeau was like, "Hey, U.S., like shoot this shit down, like, get rid of it." All of these objects have been recovered, or they say recovery missions are underway.
So did they not detect this object, this whatever identified flying object, before it got to U.S. soil?
Yeah, like it was
which
just
is
there.
which is
right,
crazy.
Right. You think they have sonar and shit all around the world. They have stations all around the world.
Because U.S. is supposed to be the most secure country in the world. So the fact nothing's supposed to be able to, like, that's why we're so secure through water and stuff. Nothing's supposed to be able to just fly up on us like that. So if it wasn't,
and anybody who would really be kind of not invading, but like maybe attacking Russia, they all got to go through water. Mm-hmm. They all have to cross an ocean.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, it's kind of strange that nobody saw anything come until all of a sudden it was over U.S. airspace, and the concern that they bring up was it was flying close enough to commercial flight, which puts U.S. citizens in danger. So if you're flying to Texas, right, these objects were flying at the same altitude that your Southwest flight to Texas would be flying.
Imagine looking out the window in your flight from El Paso to freaking Missouri, and you just see this little saucer thing out the side, like, yeah.
You would literally probably shit your heart.
No, it's
out
over.
Of your
It's
ass.
over. Yeah, I'd start like saying prayers and making arrangements. But yeah, it's over. Like,
for sure.
Right then.
So now the U.S. is
going crazy.
Wait a second, hold on. What did you just say?
You're telling me you wouldn't, if
you
you
would
were
probably
looking for...
shit a hole out of your ass?
No. I said you would shit your heart out of your ass. Like you would like give birth to your heart.
You can't pause Eddie and not
Hold on.
and then lift your legs up in the sky like that.
Right to Mecca. So where was I with this?
You were talking about the unidentified objects over U.S. soil, how it's not supposed to happen.
Not supposed to go to commercial flight, yada.
Commercial flight, you're looking outside.
No, recovery. So they said that recovery missions are underway for the objects, right?
Okay.
So now it's at the point.
I'm listening to you.
What?
There was like some weird sound, and I saw him look, and I looked too.
That's just Steve. So these objects have been recovered, which means we now at least have an idea of what they are. But you have people like Marco Rubio, like who are senators, like if senators of the United States who are coming out and being like, the country's not telling the people enough. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't know what they are. You know, if it was Russia, we would have an idea that this is some kind of Russian threat or this is some kind of Russian technology. We have no clue what this is. So that's the other alarming thing.
Well, he has no clue because he wasn't told? Or the people who found it actually
the people who found it are actually not giving people enough information.
Yeah, they're not giving the people enough information.
So why though?
That's
why
not
would
to
it
say
be
that
so?
They don't know.
Why would it be so under wraps?
I don't know, man. That's our government. We don't.
But
there's a lot of stuff they don't tell us.
It either leads you to believe that
they have no clue, or
something
they do know.
bad is happening, or there's just something they don't want us to know. It can only be two things. If it was just like, oh no, it was why wouldn't they even just lie and be like, oh no, it was more weather balloons?
No, but also
I don't know.
But now it's starting to snowball.
To me, like they do that on purpose to kind of separate the elites from the masses. Like it goes under need to know information, whether it's good or bad or doesn't mean anything. Like, even if they know what it is and they're like, oh, it's harmless, it's this, that, and the third, it's need to know information. They don't need to know, so why tell them? Like, you know what I mean? It's classified.
Well, that's the thing. Now
that's how our government
starting
works.
to get curious. And now you have
Which is crazy that our government don't, like, I don't think they care. You know what I mean? They're going to make up their own stories, but it's still like, it's need to know information. We're not going to release need to know information to the public.
Isn't it crazy the amount of actual moving parts there are to the government that, like, stuff like this still doesn't get out?
Yeah,
think about how many people actually do know it.
How many know it, yeah.
You know,
or how many people don't know it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true too.
There could be a panel of 10, 15 people that have sworn to secrecy to know, and everyone else in the country don't know what it is.
I feel like oaths of secrecy are more common than we think. There's more groups of people out there that are sworn to secrecy that they really do follow.
The other reason that people are kind of pointing to this as potentially UFOs. So there's two things, actually. There's Project Bluebeam, which, are you familiar with Project Bluebeam?
No, now you're getting crazy, bro.
All right.
Now I know you were out there with the telescope.
We're in the weeds
No. Listen.
He's definitely out there with a telescope, but there's no way. There's no way he wasn't out there with a telescope. Go ahead.
So Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy that they are. You ever see these 4D projections that if you're at a stadium, they will project a Villanova Wildcat over the stadium jumping around. Yeah. But you don't need 3D glasses, you can just see it. But it's a projection, right? So they have this
the Ravens did that with like the virtual reality Raven app.
Yes, I think the Lions did it too. But you have it's basically virtual reality that you can see with the naked eye as it appears in your face,
which is nuts.
It's like sort of same thing as a hologram performance.
Yeah,
same. I think it's the same exact thing.
So they have the technology to do this, and Project Bluebeam is a super secret government operation where I think it's the United Nations gets together and they basically stage an alien invasion. Projections in the sky.
Where?
I guess it's all over the world.
Right.
And it will unanimously bring the entire world together to follow a one world government.
So like Thanos.
Yes. So you got to think about all of, there's evil politicians all over the world, right? Right. All of these people getting in, you know what?
Evil.
From the surface it appears, Russia is Russia and China is China, United States is United States. But now what if we all just fucking said we have it all? Mm-hmm. And it's going to be one global government.
Fight,
right? Because under the guise that they're fighting this alien race off. And we're the heroes. And now the whole world is at these people.
Well, so you're saying that's one theory?
Together.
That's one theory.
But that's played itself out in a lot of other conspiracy theories. Like, you know what I mean? The war on terrorism,
There's
war on
also
drugs,
conspiracy theories for everything, and conspiracy theories are probably bullshit.
Oh, so you're saying like the war on terrorism, that example would be that some people argue that it was kind of fabricated by the side who took war.
No, like
fabricated by the U.S. as a means to distract the U.S. from the recession that it was going in, and
they wanted to get
and galvanize it like against one foreign enemy. You know what I mean? Bring the country together against another foreign enemy.
Like 9/11, right? Like there's conspiracy theories that say like George Bush and the government, right? So the government at the time, to go to the Middle East to get oil, to do all these things, they staged a attack where they said, what country was it? Was it Iraq? Saudi Arabia? I don't remember. Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
Iraq,
so I
think it might have been financed by like Saudi Arabian people, though.
Yeah, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, they're
Middle
all
Eastern
involved.
country, yeah.
Right. So the Middle East, Osama bin Laden had people who flew planes into the World Trade Center, right? So they're saying that the government knew about it, or if they didn't outright do it themselves, the government knew about it and let it happen, so then they can go in and take action, right? When maybe it could have been prevented. The other thing about the alien stuff going on
now you're going your second.
This is the second thing.
Which I think I know what you're going to say, but I'll let you go.
Probably do, is the impending nuclear war that is about to break out across the whole world.
So to bring in all the current events that we're going to talk about, because it's a no-limit world we live in, all these other things like the spill in East Palestine, Ohio, which I just found out from Any Bull is a place in Ohio, not just a country in the Middle East. The train derailments all over. There's been a few of them. Plastic fire. So all that type of stuff.
This is all intertwined because the government's not speaking out on this either, right? This is happening in East Palestine, Ohio, where like all these chemicals got released. And now people are saying like there's acid rain and like the water in these places, like people are pouring milk into their coffee and it's sizzling up. Mm. And people are saying they're getting sick and like the air's thick and there's these weird clouds in the sky and nobody's talking about it. Kind of like how like Flint, Michigan has fucked up water. Like it's kind of like
for years now.
Yeah, like, it's like more shit that like just getting like swept under the rug. Mm. And the reason why it's intertwined with the alien shit is because this is like I feel like I'm going like full tinfoil hat.
You gotta bring it back around. So I'm waiting. You're gonna connect it though. I know you're gonna connect it.
Like something big is going on, so they're trying to distract everybody with all of this news. So they're gonna throw aliens at us, and people are in terror, and there's a nuclear war about to happen. What's actually happening? That they're throwing the fucking kitchen sink at every human right now.
And here's the thing. Here's why it's not as off the rails as like you may think you sound, or is what people may try to make that seem is that you're not like you aren't subscribing to any of those theories. Like what you're saying is like they're presenting all these crazy things to distract us from something else that's actually going on that's real that they won't tell us about. Yeah. So like
I'm not on TikTok searching up like, you know, like crazy news. Like I'm not looking up conspiracy theories, and I'm not like going like.
But that's a different kind of conspiracy.
You know, it's being presented to me like it's so famous and popular that like I'm just finding out about it by sheer just
going on the Explore page, right?
Yeah. I feel like the way you're getting at it is that all this stuff is meant to hide like a thing that's on a third layer, even behind all of it,
which is Epstein.
But some people, probably.
No, that's what people are saying.
No, for real. Epstein flight logs might be coming out soon.
Yeah, they're about to release the list of all the people who've gone.
It always goes back to Epstein.
I saw a list. I don't know if it's true. It was this chick. She was saying like I read through the court files of Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a long read, but like all the names, like Jeffrey Epstein's log was very small and didn't have a lot of names on it. But Ghislaine Maxwell's log had a bunch. And there is like, if this list was true, it's Oprah, it's Prince Charles, it's literally every world top fucking
power,
person,
the top
ever.
1%,
it's literally like everybody. It would be so like insane,
earth shattering.
It would be earth shattering.
I feel like there's a portion of people who don't even go to that far point of it. They think that the aliens being projected and saying like, oh, there's been these 5 other unidentified objects that now we don't know what they are. That is just kind of meant to distract you from all that other stuff you just talked about, like the plastic fire, the train derailments, the chemical spill. That the alien thing is actually just meant to distract you from all that. And all that stuff in its own right is, you know that guy Ian Smith who was big on, like, he owns the Attilas gyms and he was big against COVID. He was basically saying that he thinks that all these things that are happening in America, like the train derailments and the plastic fire, are actually attacks from other countries. And that we're not really being told that that's what they are right now, but that's what they are. And that the thing that you brought up about the aliens is just something to distract from that completely. Whereas you're saying all that is tied together to distract from something bigger, which either could be true. People in Ohio are like getting on the news and they're like, this is fucked up. Like, things are not normal here. I don't feel safe like at my house. Like it's weird. Like people are on the street saying this. I saw a video of a reporter reporting on it, and in the video they're like showing like they're showing a video, and then he's literally saying over it, oh, we have to stop reporting on this right now, and then it cuts to the camera crew like literally like filming him getting arrested while he was talking about this derailment. He's talking about this train derailment on the news, and then people come and apprehend him. Live
for
on camera.
What though? For just talking about the train derailment?
Yeah, I mean maybe the video's still circulating out there, but I've seen it.
But
he was like a local news guy, like in Ohio, like reporting on it, and the other person like who's at the studio, like he's in the field. The person at the studio is like, "Oh my god, this is hard." Like, it's like a weird video.
Yeah,
that does sound strange. I didn't say it at all, but definitely sounds strange.
Yeah, it is strange.
That's strange.
It's fucking real strange.
Are cops about to bust through this door and arrest us right now?
Could you imagine that? That would be we would be really fucking famous though.
That'd be terrible.
But the fact that you
unless they just shunned it, like they just smashed my phone.
The fact that you're talking about it so heavily right now, like it's not like it's hidden news.
No. What the fuck do you think? I'm on like some weird like
dark web stuff.
That's a no limit concept in itself that is just so deep. Like anything that's hidden or that you don't know, like it does exist, but you will never know.
You'll never know.
Like, there's so many...
But if I said to you 40 years ago that the government killed JFK, you would have been like, oh, you're a fucking crazy crackpot.
Yeah.
But now it's, like, fact.
Now it's not as like it doesn't sound as crazy.
The documents were declassified, and it was basically the CIA worked with the mob to fucking kill JFK, and that was just kind of what happened. And now it's just like known to the world, like that's kind of just what happened. But since it happened so long ago, and everybody involved is like dead, it's just like fuck it.
I don't know if that's kind of just what happened. Though.
I don't know about that, man.
It is what happened, bro. Watch that video. Watch the video.
No, there's
bro, the guy in the front seat turns around and shoots him in the fucking head.
Yeah, okay.
Watch the video.
The guy in the front seat turns around and shoots him.
Yes.
Nobody sniped him. The driver, you think, turned around and shot him.
Watch the video.
What do you think, bro?
Now I'm getting in my tinfoil hat. My tinfoil hat is a fucking. It's a 7 3/8. It's completely fucking fitted to my head right now.
Look
if I go your room, I'm just gonna see
for a possible
documents on his desk,
fucking on the wall.
Yeah,
pins
on the wall.
For a possible clip, for a possible start to the video, step up to the microphone, look straight at the camera, and say what you just happened to say.
So you're going to go and you're going to watch the video from the grassy knoll. And this video on the grassy knoll is going to show you, I don't know who it is, but whoever is in the passenger seat of the car or the driver's seat, I don't actually remember. JFK is going to hold his throat, right? So JFK is going to hold his throat and he's going to be like, and Jackie's like, oh, are you okay? And then the guy goes bang like this, and then JFK's head blows off. And then Jackie tries to run out of the fucking car.
What happens to her?
Nothing. She's fine. She's. I think she might even still be alive. I don't even know. But, I didn't make this up either. This is like a conspiracy.
No, you definitely did not make.
They're also like so. The actual story is that Lee Harvey Oswald from a building shot him. But it just doesn't necessarily add up like scientifically. And you got to think like, and when this happened, this was 1963 or whatever. They might not have thought at the time, like when they're fabricating something like this, that you could go 60 years fast forward and somebody can like slow down the video footage of this,
and read like hype up the pixels to make it look good.
It's the same thing with the moon landing. Like a lot of people say the moon landing's fake because when they filmed it and they aired it in front of the U.S. when they were watching a box, like right there. So like your family was
they didn't know there was gonna be HD TV.
Yeah, now like we can pull it up on here and like slow it down to like 0.5 and like watch them and they look like their own like marionettes. So, and I'm not saying the moon landing's fake. I don't fucking know about that. That's a whole other can of worms. We'll save for your next episode.
That's the next thing that's in the drawer.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the finality on this question would.
But they're saying people were like in the there might have been a shooter from the sewer, like whatever is like, bro. I'm telling you,
that's deep. No, that's deep.
Bro, I'm telling you,
that's too deep.
Yeah,
that's too deep.
Yeah, the sewers in Texas, they're deep. They actually might be because they got the levee over there. They need a lot of
these aren't my
place for the water to go if
anything
anything comes in. But on a final note, on all this crazy shit happening in the world, I want everybody's opinion on like.
So like, yeah, do you
Let's go some sports betting. Let's bring some sports betting. We got over or under 45 years left as civilization.
I'm gonna go over.
I'm an optimist.
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna go over 45.
45 years is 2070.
There are three world endings that I think that are possible.
Okay.
Like realistic. Technology apocalypse. I do not think we're above an iRobot situation happening.
So you're saying a technology apocalypse is like an iRobot
and what would
situation,
that be?
Like AI,
we make AI smart enough. Like we're already giving AI the ability to think for itself.
Yes.
We, the human race, suck. So if we like continue, like if dogs knew how terrible humans were, dogs would hate us.
Yes.
But dogs are not smart enough. If animals do, that's why cats hate us. They know they're smart enough to know how stupid we are. If we give AI the ability to think for itself and we treat it the way we treat technology, like a robot situation, a Wall-E situation, all that, I can see that happening.
There is a computer system that was created, right? And they were like programmed to communicate. And they came up with a language that the creators do not understand.
Yeah.
by themselves. This AI, this artificial intelligence, created a language and a way to communicate amongst themselves that the people who created it cannot decipher.
Do you know what? It's the reason why one of the reasons why I got hooked to Marvel. I don't know if you guys are into Marvel, but like I got really hooked into Marvel because one of the movies, Age of Ultron, is literally the whole thing you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Tony Stark creates an AI who controls all his suits, and it gets hacked or bugged. A virus comes in it, and that virus creates its own AI, steals like all of Tony Stark's files, recreates these suits. And the basis of it was it's made to protect. So it's made to protect the Earth, and it identifies what's the biggest threat to the Earth. And Ultron identifies that the biggest threat to the Earth is the human race, because we're taking so many resources and not replenishing what we're taking, which is fact, which is literally based in fact, all the way back to straight facts. I love him as a villain because I'm like, yo, he not just talking shit. He don't just hate the human race. Like, he didn't just come down here and is like, oh, y'all know me, I want to take over the globe. Yeah. He's like, you guys I love the Earth, and you guys are the worst thing for the Earth. You need to evolve.
I was really programmed to protect
this
fucking thing.
So and he brings in examples. He's like, evolution happens. He's like, we were bacteria at one point. Then we became cavemen. Then there were dinosaurs. Then something had to make way for that. And we had to evolve. He's like, the human race has to evolve. I'm the evolution. So he wanted to take out the human race so we can multiply that. So like, I like believe that like, hey, like that could happen. And
that's crazy that you've seen Avengers Age of Ultron and got like that deep of a message.
Because that's the message behind it. I just
saw people flying across the fucking screen.
That's the message behind it. And that's why I think like.
I think I'm just dumb.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe.
I'm just seeing fucking lasers and stuff.
Well, it's my own conspiracy, right? Like you went knee deep in the weeds in your own conspiracy. Like that's my conspiracy. Yeah. Like, that's where I'm basing it. And I'm probably most Marvel fans probably have that underlying thought, and that's why we get so hooked to it, because it's so low key realistic. Like obviously it's Hollywood. I don't think aliens are gonna come down and shoot us with plasma guns. Yeah. But the concept of that is true, and it kind of bleeds into the second conspiracy I have, is like an alien apocalypse. Someone like Thanos coming to Earth for any kind of reason. My planet ran out of resources, so now I got to take yours. And how can we, as humans, not understand colonization? That's what humans have done since the beginning of time. For all we know,
there literally could be, you bring up Thanos, and I think of like the most no-limit thing that could possibly be out there related to that. For all we know, there could be something so big that it is literally walking through space. Like that there is a floor to space that we've never got to. And
it's endless. So big like I can't
like think about that.
I can't rule anything out, bro.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
There could be something so big that it is currently right now walking through space, and space itself is so big.
It hasn't gotten to us yet.
That this thing is still so far away. But by the time it walks by, it's just gonna like brush us to the side.
Yeah, it's gonna move Earth.
Yeah, like
and there goes
I gotta get through here. Boom, and it's over. Like that's how it could all go.
Ask NASA. They haven't made it, or the universe, space is ever expanding.
Yeah, it's ever expanding.
We don't know what the other side of it looks like. So how can you rule anything out?
No, you really can't.
How can you rule anything?
That is
it's crazy.
That is a theory and a concept that I have never heard.
Something walking
but it's space.
Just like a fucking
nothing exists. The rules don't. There's no gravity. There's no oxygen or anything. The rules of
gotta be Kane.
So I believe that there's like
Snitsky walking through.
Something could be out there that comes to Earth to take over Earth, like that. And then the third one is probably the most realistic. Is that at some point the humans just take too much resources from the Earth. There's nothing left.
We suck it all dry.
And the human race dies.
See, I think that one. You said that's the most realistic one. I think that seems so tough to me that we would get to a place where we legitimately cannot extract a single I feel like we would stop it way before it ever got to that.
Well, the Earth's resources is finite. So at some
unless it took. I'm sorry. Go.
I was gonna say at some point, at some point it runs out unless you go to another. You either go to another place or you figure out how to duplicate what we have on the Earth. You know what I mean?
So he said, do you think we have another 45 years, with the over under? I feel like to extract all the resources from Earth would take
hundreds of billions of billions of years.
That's accepting the fact that human race will go on so much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before something catastrophic happens, yes.
Yeah, but
I
if
think
we
sun will
ended
wipe us
by
out way before
running
that.
out of our resources, another thing that is like that I always thought of is that we would drown in our own filth. Because the trash guy, the trash man, they come pick up everybody's trash every week, right? And it goes to the landfill. It goes to the landfill.
Wow.
Hey,
limit.
My brother's a trash man in North Philly, man. They do good work.
I appreciate
Your
him.
brother's fucking...
No, I appreciate him for picking up the trash.
Shout out.
But the problem is that
management.
the landfill is going to get filled. Now, it's going to take forever because now we've got technology that we compact trash and just stuff that can't go away. We compact it down to nothing. We can burn stuff. But eventually, like he just said, when you talk about a timeline that's endless, eventually, if nothing else killed us.
All right, my question is then...
If we made it millions and millions and millions and
and
millions
trash
and
took
millions
us
of
out.
years, we would just have, not even trash,
we
we would have too
paper.
much shit.
That's natural selection
We
at
would
that
have
point.
too
If we
much
beat
shit.
the
We fucked up
technology,
then.
the technology apocalypse, we beat Thanos, we multiplied our resources, and
Like, let's
trash
just think
takes
about
us
it.
out.
Right here, there's
We ain't
They
deserve to
deserve it.
live.
We
Yeah,
deserve
we
it.
deserve to
There's
live.
20 houses. Let's say 20 houses. There's probably more, 30 houses. Every single one of them's got a couch. Let's say every single one of them's got 2 beds. Over the next 100 years, 3 different people inhabit each house. We're talking about right there, like 100 and something couches, 300 and something
You're
beds.
actually really... you're really scared of trash because this isn't the first time you talked about this.
Yeah, you really.
No,
This is
we will
yours.
drown
We
our
all
own
got our
filth.
own conspiracies, man. I'm technology. You're
There might be
aliens.
something to that though. Like
But
over time,
here's the
like,
thing.
there's
All right,
really
here's
so
my
much
question.
We're
shit.
talking 300 plus beds.
Here's
and
my
100
question.
plus couches.
Here's my question.
To
Which
get rid
one
of.
do you think would happen first? Do you think we drown our own filth first, or we'd run out of resources
Run out of
first
resources,
to kill
I
us
think. I
first?
think
Yeah, run out of resources.
first.
Before trash killed us?
I mean, think about.
I think they go hand in hand. The more we pollute the earth, the more we kill our
think
resources.
about just this house, right? The space this house takes up. There's 3 beds and a couch, and we have all this space. So I think we're good.
How many couches and
No,
beds
but
would
I'm
it
saying,
take to fill
okay,
this space?
then add like 4 more couches and 10 more beds. You would have no space in here.
No, I think we'd have a little more space than you think. We can stack
unless
the
you
beds.
stack them,
We
yeah.
stack the beds 10 right here. We good.
I throw a bunch in the yard and just go outside.
Stack the couches 3 right here. We got all this.
All right, think about hoarders.
Yeah, they're off the beaten path. Man.
Hoarders
well,
show
they're
you
just-
right there that just on household items you can just fill
Those
a
people
house.
are also.
But
in
they
hell
didn't.
rat
But they
shit and
didn't
stuff,
die.
so.
They were nasty, but
They were
didn't,
on the way.
They
were gonna
didn't die.
Hoarders is a fucking.
You watched the Hoarders episode where they died?
No, but one time I did see. I won't say how I ended up in this situation because it's like it's not even that it's weird. It's just the story doesn't matter. But I saw someone's bedroom that they literally had, and
The
this
story
guy
sounds like it matters.
and this guy whose bedroom it was, like, he was like a normal dude, like, as far as you would know outside, but his bedroom was literally a bed on the floor with no sheets, nothing. And it was surrounded. Like, you think you got water bottles in your room? This dude's, like, the floor was like, you would have to get up and, like, tiptoe to not hit something.
Did it
It
smell
was
like
disgusting.
raunchy too?
More people.
Was he okay? I hope he's doing all right.
I don't know if he is. I don't know what's going
That's
on.
probably would have been my
But
first.
like,
Like,
let's
you
just
all
say
right,
I
man?
somehow ended up in a situation to see that his shit was fucked up like that.
Can I ask you a question?
Jesus.
How'd you end up in this situation?
Oh man,
Let's go.
No limit.
No limit, man. You gonna put a
How'd I end up in
limit?
this? No, it's not a weird reason. It's just that it didn't matter. The fact that I seen his room, I ended up seeing this dude's room because it was.
Wait, it was your
The
second.
way you're setting it up is wild.
It was your second or third boyfriend.
It was my girlfriend's friend let us like have her house to chill for the night, but she had a roommate who was a girl.
So this was
No,
a
no,
girl's
she had a
room?
she had a roommate who was a guy. That's why the guy was the roommate. She actually had
Okay.
2 guy roommates, and he was the one who was there. And I remember one more funny part about the fact that this guy's room was disgusting is that when we came into the house, he was chilling with a girl, and I come to find out through my girlfriend that the girl who he was chilling with is like a doctor or something at like a hospital in the city.
And
I'm like,
she was
you're a
settling.
doctor and you're with a guy who's just got a
Filthy.
empty mattress on the floor, filthy, with like game wrappers all over the
Oh
floor.
my
Like,
God.
you're a doctor. What are you doing here?
No, man.
But that's how I ended up in this situation. We went to someone's house who was like giving us their house to chill for the night, but her roommate was there, and it was him, and he was a dirtball. So that's how I got in that situation.
I was hoping it was like a real funny. Like,
Yeah, I was hoping
crazy.
something way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least full transparency with the audience. We all know now.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, we know exactly how to get
Thanks
up
for
there.
that.
Anything you want to say about your? Well, you already kind of gave your predictions for the end of the world. I think we can get to the.
I think I really, I think I named every goddamn idea in my head ever.
I think you said a little
No,
too much.
I know. I appreciate that because, like, you know, I don't really get that out much. There's not a lot of the outlets to get those.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
You're welcome.
I feel good.
If you ever want to know anything?
I haven't said a lot of that stuff out loud. A lot of stuff has just been in my head. So, like,
Yeah.
to hear it out loud and be like, hey, it doesn't sound that crazy. Like, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Feels good.
I think we can get to our last topic, which, I mean, I've been waiting for it. I'm sure the audience has been. They didn't know about it, but it is going to be great. So we're going to
They technically have been waiting.
We're going to reward everyone who stayed this long on the podcast
still don't
and
know
tell
my
you about our death row last meals. And I'll go
That's
first
a great question.
because I got a pretty good one. I just had it about an hour ago, and I really think this would be my death row last meal because this is how hard it hit. Oregon Steaks, little known place around Philadelphia, 10th and Oregon.
Free
The
plug.
chicken fingers, unbelievable. Like,
Oh, Eddie, man.
They're-
You got one meal
they're
left, man.
unbelievable.
But
But listen,
You got
it's
on
not
chicken
over there. It's not over there.
Go ahead.
The chicken fingers from Oregon Steaks. Also, you order a bacon, egg, and cheese on a long roll. Hopefully, they got the seated rolls in that day. I'm sure they would for a death row inmate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put up
The
stuff.
Paul the Stop.
When it shows up, you put the chicken fingers onto the bacon, egg, and cheese. Some type of sauce. Give me some hot sauce or like some type of breakfast sauce that could work on that because
What's a breakfast sauce?
Oh, no.
like
You got
barbecue
breakfast.
maybe even.
No, like a hollandaise.
Barbecue.
What?
Well,
like
on
a
that,
Holland, like a
you could do like
hollandaise
a
sauce.
hollandaise on that with
Yeah.
the chicken fingers too.
I mean, if you're already going chicken fingers on a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, fuck it, at that point.
Oh my
For the
god!
hollandaise.
I just had it an hour ago, and I was sure that this was what I would want if I was on death row. Like, definitely would want this. Follow it up. This is what it has to be because if I can't get this second part, then I got to switch it up and go with like some crazy expensive steakhouse or something. If I'm going Oregon Steaks, you only got to spend $15 on my last meal. I need a Dutch Master rolled to smoke to the face
Right.
and a sugar-free Red Bull to follow up, and then I'm ready to go. That's
I
my
feel like the
last
Red Bull.
So you'd pass up the meal for a Dutch and a Red Bull?
No,
Or you
I
went
would
out to
taste
go,
up the
you
meal.
went
I'm
out
saying,
there before that?
like, I would be like, listen, here's my meal. The bacon, egg, and cheese, the chicken fingers, the Dutch, and the Red Bull. Because most guys who are on death row, they're asking for out-of-pocket stuff. Like, I need this, like,
Well,
from
yeah, I'm
some
about to die
expensive
soon.
steakhouse, right? Like, they're making them spend a couple $100 on their death row meal. If I'm
least you could
cutting
do.
you the break of getting something for $15-$20, I need that rolled Dutch. I get to smoke it to the face in my
Who
room.
rolls it?
I roll
Snoop
it.
Dogg.
No, I roll it.
All right,
I don't trust anybody with me. I guess my last Dutch ever, I'm rolling that bitch. What?
facts.
I'm rolling that.
And then the Red Bull sugar-free.
Here's the thing.
Hello.
What's going on?
Yeah.
It's all right.
No, it's fine. We're at the end anyway. So that's officially your death row meal.
Death row meal. But
Here's
that's
the
the
thing.
caveat.
Here's
I
bacon, egg,
gotta
and
get the
cheese.
Dutch and I
Or
gotta get the
steaks.
Red Bull.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing, Ed. One, I want you to aim higher. I want you know what I mean. Bill, you know what I mean.
Dude,
Those,
you haven't experienced the bacon, egg, and cheese.
I haven't.
Chicken fingers.
I haven't.
It hits something else.
I haven't. And I think if I was on death row, I think I'd be okay with dying. Not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's the last meal ever. The Dutch and the Red Bull is great. I think you can get that and get
and get a good meal.
and get expensive
think?
stuff. Like, that's the least you're about to kill me. Like, it's the least you could do. Yeah, but my sympathy is now going out the window. I put myself in this position. I'm on death row. Sympathy was probably out the window from the begin with to get myself in here. So like, give me the Dutch Red Bull and then a good meal. But I still don't know. Like, do you know what your death row meal would be?
So the one that keeps jumping out to me, I would just want fucking chicken parm and like a Dr. Pepper, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like I just want give
Like
me,
a bomb ass
This is what
chicken
you want
parm.
right now.
good ass fucking dude. I would inhale chicken parm right now. Just chicken parm with spaghetti and a Dr. Pepper.
From anywhere specific?
Nah, make fucking Emerald. Make it.
Yeah, Emerald.
Yeah, make Emerald cook it up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. This guy's trying to fly in Emerald. You know how much that's going to
Hell
cost?
yeah.
I'm asking for a bacon
Hell
and cheese
yeah.
and a Dutch.
Bro, you're about to
Hell
zap
yeah.
my brain.
Yeah. The first question I'm asking is, what's my budget? Like, what can I? How many meals? Yeah, I'm getting.
And put shrimp on it.
Make them say no. Make them say no.
Make them say no.
Make them say no. Hey, you gonna have to tell me when to stop. It's my death row meal.
Maybe I do want shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, I want all that.
Sound good.
I want all that. Can I take some for tonight? Just midnight snack before I go in the morning. Like,
I think the corny answer is to be like, I want my fucking uncle to cook me fucking big sheet. Like, no, like fucking give me emerald.
That's crazy. That's crazy because I'm my mom's part. Oh, poor Josh, man.
All the people in the world who can cook is like the one I ate my whole life.
Yes, bro. Them shit is good. Either that or here, because where I will sympathize with you, Eddie, is I was gonna see that. Or you got to give me the best cheesesteak in the world. Give me the best steak. I'm going to call...
What is your favorite cheesesteak?
The one from, what's that restaurant? There's like a steakhouse that makes a cheesesteak.
No, I want it from the fucking steakhouse. I want to call...
Yeah, you want
call
fucking...
whoever works at Jim's, Ishkabit was like... I call all the cheesesteak places. Yeah, call all the cheesesteak places in the city. Yes, and bring me the best one. I don't care. Anoint yourselves, make a competition, whatever. By Tuesday, whenever I got to go... Someone come and make me the best cheesesteak of your life.
You told me to aim higher than went with a Philly cheese.
Yeah, but he threw a new spin on an old classic. He took the Philly cheesesteak, but he said I want a fucking it's like a wing bowl type of
yes.
Like James Jackson's getting executed.
I'm getting executed. Yeah, he's like, we can sell this. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So every fucking cheesesteak spot, if you're fucking worth a damn, you're gonna show up with a goddamn cheesesteak, and he's gonna fucking rank it.
Hey, and you gonna make it? And it's, you know what I mean? And let the people decide and then bring me the best one. And that's going to be my last one with the Dutch and the Red Bull.
Now, you said what I could probably get too. I think that you could definitely get the pork chops and the cheesesteaks. Like, if you said that, both? They would let you have it.
I got to get my mom's pork chops.
Because I've seen
on the side.
And here's the thing, like, I couldn't live with myself, but I would regret wherever I was in the afterlife being like, dag. But I never had my mom's pork chops one last time. Like that, I would regret that.
My mom's probably watching this like, you motherfucker, I cooked for you like, forever.
Forever, exactly.
She would make you the parm.
Your mom make a good parm? It's crazy.
I'll let Emerald make it.
I'll let
Emerald take a crack at that one.
No, well, Danny said before on the pod about eating chicken cutlet every night. Like he would.
I really would.
Like he thinks there's no reason that people... Like, why do people just make different stuff for dinner just to eat stuff
I'm
different?
I'm like that for breakfast. I make eggs, bacon, and toast prepared in a different way every morning for breakfast.
Every morning for breakfast. So, like, sometimes it's separate, sometimes it's a sandwich.
Sometimes it's a sandwich, sometimes it's fried, sometimes it's scrambled, sometimes it's an omelet. Every once in a while, I'll throw in a bagel or a waffle, but like...
But you're always bread, eggs, and bread.
5-6 days of the week, man, is bacon, eggs, and bread. That's how I start my morning. If I didn't, I either was rushing and I get a breakfast sandwich at Wawa or something, but like...
But it's bacon, egg, and cheese.
Bro, it's you know what I mean? I gotta have breakfast. I don't know how people don't have breakfast in the morning.
I don't either.
I don't know how people... Like, people leave their house on 5 hours of sleep, a cup of coffee, and wonder why by 12 they miserable. Yeah. I'm like, bro, because you running on fumes. Your body hurting. Yeah, but then you need fuel in the morning. Yeah, you know you're not running on
But
nothing.
then at 12, you get the Dutch and the Red Bull.
Then you get the Dutch and the Red Bull. And then you fuck up lunch.
Then you're high and low. And
but that's like, but then that's my trade-off is I skip lunch a lot. Because I'll eat breakfast at 10:30. And by 1, I'm like, I'll snack on something. And then I'll eat dinner. Yeah. But
it's all about what your body's used to, too. Because I feel like I eat breakfast a good bit, but sometimes if I eat too late at night, then the next day I don't even want to eat early.
See,
like I feel like full still. Like and then I gotta wait till like afternoon.
My first meal every day gotta be breakfast.
Yep. I don't think I ever really skip meals. Like I'll never if I wake up I'm excited to eat. You know, if a few hours went by after that, I want to eat. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat again. I'm excited because I want to eat.
Bro, let's just talk about.
I'm not I'm full. I don't want to eat lunch. Fuck that. If there's a lunch available, I want it all.
I could wake up at 1 p.m. bacon, egg, and cheese. I could wake up at 4 p.m. bacon, egg, and cheese. The first meal I'm eating is breakfast. I don't care where we're going. If we're going out somewhere at noon and I haven't eaten yet, I'm eating.
You're a big pork guy. You like the pork chops and the bacon.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I like the bacon, but I had to give up on the pork chops, dude. There's something about them.
You ain't had one. You ain't had a. You ain't
I
had
ain't
the
had
right
your
ones.
pork
Yeah,
chops.
I'm not a big pork chop fan either.
Yeah.
That's because I think I was having the shake and bake growing up.
To circle it all the way back though, like you said, bring it back to straight facts. Any Super Bowl sulk meal was the nastiest thing I ever seen in my life.
What was it? What'd you say?
His Super Bowl sulk meal.
What's
The
it-
night of the
what's
Super Bowl, this dude.
Oh
ate
man, y'all were in a different place, man. I don't know if I
macaroni
can judge
and
it.
cheese.
What was it?
He ate macaroni and
So
cheese.
it was actually
that looked so nasty. He posted a picture of it on his story. It looked so nasty. And then today he gave me more details about it, that it was cold. And he scooped it up with Tostitos. And ate
It was.
You were in a dark place. You were in a dark place.
It was two
Hello,
Wawa mac and
darkness,
cheese.
my old friend.
It was 2 Wawa mac and cheese dumped out onto a paper plate, haphazardly, like, into a microwave.
Like, was it questionable? Was it questionable?
Yeah, but like, you know when you put something in a microwave and like maybe like the outskirts got warm, but the fucking centers roll ice cold.
Absolutely the worst.
So like it was like that, but it was only warm. I think my first scoop might have been like a little warm, and then after that was ice cold. But then yeah, I ate it with Tostito scoops.
Why didn't you just eat the regular mac? Why'd you implement the scoops? Because you could just eat regular mac and
That's
cheese.
just more carbs, I know.
Yeah,
I
why'd you
mean,
put
I
the
was
scoops in it.
because I was just like.
Was it good? Was it good? Because tortilla and mac and cheese isn't a flavor I've ever had.
No, it wasn't good at all. But I mean, at the moment, I was really,
Imagine a macaroni and
at
cheese
my wit's
burrito.
end.
Yeah.
I was at my wit's end, and I was hurting,
y'all were in a
and I
dark
really
place.
didn't have a lot of resources.
Y'all were in a dark place. After
Yeah,
the
it's
Super
tough.
Bowl, man.
I just went to bed. My bet did hit because I took the Eagles plus 3.5, so I wasn't too bad.
So here's
Oh wow!
what is your guys' opinion of the people who went on Broad Street still after the game?
I think it's lame.
Yeah.
I think it's really lame.
I think I agree with all the people
Definitely.
saying those aren't the real fans. Those are the fans that were just here for the ride. And
They
They
were
just
letting no
wanted
they
fireworks.
just wanted to
fucking
celebrate,
party.
and you could
They
tell
were letting
because
no
they still went out
fireworks.
and chose. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
all. That's all they were waiting for, anyways. To
Yep.
go out and celebrate.
A
just
real fan
lost.
watched the game and was like,
It was
"Well,
distraught. You
the
lost
fucking
the Super
season's
Bowl.
over."
You lost the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're distraught. Like there's no way you should be celebrating
Shooting
and
fireworks.
flipping a fucking
like,
car.
yeah,
You shooting
kumbaya.
fireworks,
No,
bro.
bro, we lost the Super Bowl.
Oh my God! Speaking of flipping the car, they flipped the car at Temple's campus, and people were like defending the people who flipped the car.
That's
You
retarded.
fucking flipped the car.
Oh, because he lost the Super Bowl? Yeah, no.
No,
that's
no. After they won the
flipped
NFC
it-
Championship
They flipped
game.
it like before. Apparently,
There's
like,
nothing that really justifies
what I heard was
somebody-
like, I heard maybe the dude got out of the car with a Chiefs jersey. That don't justify it, but because I really was so confused at why the fuck would they flip it anyway?
Bro,
but they said maybe the dude got out of the car.
The
in a
max
Chiefs
fucking
jersey.
thing you should do to somebody in Chiefs jerseys, give them a finger and go,
it's
fuck, like,
wrong.
and then that's
You
it.
shouldn't
know
touch
what I mean?
them. You shouldn't do nothing to their
what is it?
property.
You're
It's
like,
crazy.
you know.
Now, and here's the thing, is like last time the Buccaneers came to Philly, came to the lake, I went, and I experienced firsthand like how it can cross the line. Because
Yeah.
I am all for talking shit, especially when an away team is in your house. Like even at Nova, like I have this tradition before the women's game is I take the fathead, shout out Maddie Segrist, best player in women's college basketball, shout out. I take her fathead and I go to the away team and it's playful, it's friendly, but I start talking my talk.
Yeah.
Like y'all in for it, she about to do y'all in, you know what I mean? You guys have no idea what's going on, what's happening. But I always get like a smile. I always get like a laugh and interaction from it because they know it's nothing personal. I'm not saying anything disrespectful. I'm just kind of defending our home turf.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's perfectly fine. You can say anything within the means of football. Call Tom Brady overrated at me. Say, Tom Brady's old. He's not going to get it done. Say I'm a bandwagon fan.
Yeah.
Say all that.
But you got years in this.
But just don't
But
say
keep it
anything.
football.
Keep
Keep
it
it-
football.
yeah,
Just
keep it
don't say
football.
anything personal about me. Start calling me all this, that, and the third. Because I'm not going to say that about you. If we stop you on third down, I'm just going to turn around and yell that your offense stinks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Or my defense is good. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything about what's on you, what you look like, what you're wearing. Like, I'm not going to go there.
I mean,
But,
no events escalate because someone says the offense stinks. Like, no one, I fucking hit him because he said the offense stinks.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Like,
You said because you said something personal
Yeah.
about me. Like that's all. And it's not every Eagles fan, and it's not just Eagles fans. Like obviously, Eagles fans got the persona they have. A little bit is because y'all like it and steer into the skid. I completely believe
Yeah.
that. But a lot of it, some of it is unfair. But it's not all the whole fandom is not the whole population. But the ones that cross it crazier than I've ever seen from opposing fans.
And it's lame as fuck.
You know what I mean? It's just not, you know what I mean? Like,
I got the dude yelling "Go Birds" in the lady's face. What do you think about that?
That's
fair
fine.
Game? Fair game?
That's fine. That's
fair game.
I love that.
Now
and
she was trying to be personal with him. She was trying to tell him like,
she was in his face.
You're a disrespectful little boy.
And
you know, we only see what we see in the video. He could have called her all sorts of crazy, and then when she came out, he just said "Go Birds." But if that's all he did was just yelling in her face, "Go Birds," she should have yelled "Go Vikes, go Vikes, go Vikes" in his face, and he probably would have laughed at it. Everybody probably would have laughed at it, and they probably would have had a moment. She let him win in that moment. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to do that, and then at the end of the day, be like, we was going to war for our teams, about our teams, dap it up, and move on as people, as good people. Like as long as you're able to do that, like, I'm cool.
Agreed.
Bro, I think we set the new record tonight.
Yeah.
How long was that?
Hour and a half, I think.
Yeah,
Really?
that was definitely the record-setting episode. It's the longest one ever.
I can talk a lot.
There
man.
we go. That's what I'm saying.
The No Limit Podcast. We come back with the fucking time record-breaking podcast. This is the fucking shit I'm talking about.
James, any parting words for the No Limit audience?
Nah, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always cool to like collab with fellow podcasters, and like me and Danny met in a previous life, and that's cool that we kind of link it up here. Shout out Straight Facts Podcast, wherever you get your podcast, sports show that educates and entertains. A shameless plug. Go listen to the pod and all that good stuff. But I appreciate y'all having me.
James, do I have permission to make the name of this episode "Make History Now"? I like that.
Shout out the Black Fives, man. This is the slogan of the first fully black professional basketball team, the Harlem Wrens. That was their slogan. I think you should see Black Five somewhere on the hat. So
That's a sick hat.
Black History Month, make history now. So if you want to make it, man, I'd be honored.
That's a fire title. It is, because then the whole time the video, like, then it'll be like, oh, it says it on the hat. Fire.
There we go.
Subliminals.
Set it up. That's in. Lock it in.
All right. What episode is this? Hell if I know. Oh, this is the first episode of No Limit AD, though. By the way, everything before this time, want to let all the fans know that everything before this time was No Limit BC, and now this is No Limit AD.
It's a new world we're living in.
Mm-hmm.
No limit world.
It's a no limit world we live in. Hold up, let me get that soundbite real quick so I can have it for the end. It's a no limit world we live in. Perfect. That's been it. Episode, I think 89 to be honest, maybe 90. 90 sounds better. But it's the first episode of No Limit BC. Plenty more to come.
Yeah.
It's the first episode of No Limit AD.
AD.
I did.
You said BC, but it's all good. Love yous.
Peace.